Welcome to the day after, episode number 3, and we are back at Dottie's over on Sherry Park, start 242nd, Gresham, Troutdale area, where we recorded our first episode. Back to the basics.
Oh yeah, back to the basics.
I'm Evan.
I'm Ken.
I'm Anthony.
What should we start with first?
This is, well, just to clarify, this is, again, episode number 3 for the week of
June 14th.
June 14th, 2013. This was another double header. We started today with This Is the End,
Yep.
and
Ended
ended on Man of Steel. So let's go ahead and start with This Is the End.
About what I expected, I guess.
Go for it, man. Go for it.
I don't agree with the critics who said they busted a gut laughing. I did not find it that funny.
No. It had its moments, but I will agree. I will agree with you. It didn't have the busting up laughing moments it should, but it did have its moments. And the problem is, the movie was fun.
You're good? No soda, no water, nothing?
Live here.
It was good. It was a good movie, but the problem is it was not fun. A lot of critics would say.
Absolutely. Actually, I was starting to get a little bit excited when I knew that these guys were going to be in the house together, and just camaraderie that would develop. I don't mind that they didn't do that much exploring.
Right.
But then that started to drag. They
Yeah.
didn't keep that entertaining enough, and it really could have been. I think they should have kept up with the video logs.
Yeah, and it could have been a lot better. It could have been a lot better. The one part I loved that was just awesome. Tatum became Danny McBride's bitch. That was great.
That was good.
That was great.
Well, I guess we had to have this benchmark moment in the show eventually. This will be my first negative review.
Oh wow.
The first time I am not recommending a movie.
Don't get
I
angry.
was not impressed with this movie at all. Yes, it did have a few humorous moments, but all in all, I was mostly dumbfounded. I was absolutely not busting a gut. I was not laughing my ass off, like the so-called critics had claimed. I mean, it told a story, albeit not a very good one. Acting was about, again, what
Third rate, I would say.
it's about what you would expect with a cast like this, with a cast like, including Jonah Hill, with
Danny McBride,
Danny
Seth
McBride.
Rogen,
yeah.
James Franco,
James Franco,
Craig Robinson,
Jay
Burchell.
Burchell.
I will say this, Craig Robinson was a pleasant surprise in this movie. He definitely was the high point for me anyway.
I'm gonna agree with you on that, because the problem is, the one thing, Craig Robinson, he's always been a comedic actor,
Yep.
but he was actually a higher point than a lot of his other movies he's done. Hot Time Machine. The only reason why he was in it was to help out John Cusack. And and in this one, he stood alone.
Indeed.
And he boosted his own career.
I will agree with that. Craig Robinson definitely stood out as kind of being above everybody else in this film. He definitely was one of the more superior actors.
I don't feel the same way. Well, I don't think his career was boosted. It's more like revived. Now
Yeah.
he's in this and then another movie, I think, where he plays actually the devil.
Yeah.
Or something. I heard about
yeah.
that. Remember the criticism of Seth Rogen at the beginning of the movie?
No.
The one guy was like, "You don't do any real acting. All you do is play yourself, basically. The same role
Right.
over and over again." Well,
Little meta humor.
that's how I felt with Craig Robinson. I was not impressed. I expected exactly what he gave. I didn't expect him to be as featured as he was.
Right.
Let me put it this way, compared to everybody else.
Yeah.
No, I like Danny McBride the best.
Oh, really? Wow.
Thank God somebody caused some havoc.
Yeah. Okay.
And
I'll
still,
give you that.
and then still, that was still great that Danny McBride made Ted.
The fact that there was an antagonist in this movie, I mean,
That's not
it
the
helps.
It's not the devil.
It helps, but at the same time, I mean, annoying as hell.
Well, there was one part that I know you loved. Michael Schur getting his ass killed.
Yeah.
And Aziz Ansari, that was kind of nice.
Spoiler alert in case you haven't been tuning in and paying attention the last 2 weeks. Michael Cera being the first one to die was a very, very nice.
And he also did get bitch slapped by Rihanna.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
He did bitch slap her. He got bitch slapped by her.
I fucking hate Michael Cera.
Well,
I didn't mind that Emma Watson was in it. That's been my crush for a decade.
Yeah.
oh yeah, Emma Watson. She grew up to a beautiful woman. But you know, you can have her as a crush. That's fine. But for me, I'll always see her as that little girl named Hermione Granger. I'm sorry. but the one thing I really did love, and it came out of the blue when you see Danny McBride and you didn't know he was there until it was like right.
He had 2 entrances.
Yeah, 2 entrances.
Nobody else had a
The
great
first
entrance.
the first entrance was okay, but the second entrance where he just plowed that priest, that was great.
So, overall,
What do you say?
I'm gonna barely recommend it.
barely recommend it. Okay.
Jeez, I don't know.
That's different.
Well, if there was a neutral, is there a neutral box?
I guess you could say that.
I'm gonna check the neutral box and say, watch, you'll enjoy if you're big fans of them. I'm not. I read a review that said there are worse ways to spend a couple hours than hanging out with some of the funniest guys on the planet.
Yeah.
That's what the review said. They're not the funniest guys on the planet, not even close. That's okay. You know, everyone's entitled to
You know
their own
what?
opinion.
I'm gonna agree with Evan here, and I'm gonna agree with Tony here. If you want to see it, go. If you are big fans of them, go see it. But you know what? Nah, it's not what you think the critics say. That it's laugh right. No, it's not. You'll get a chuckle here and there, and that's probably about it. When you see, where I can't even talk. When you see Jonah Hill getting raped by the devil or by a demon, that was great. But still, it's not as funny as as the critics say it is.
It's
Wasted
saying
potential.
something when rape is the high point
Exactly.
of the movie.
Exactly. Rape. There was when they were talking about rape. When Jade and Danny were talking about raping Emma Watson. And then,
Oh, that rape.
yeah, and then you got Jonah Hill getting raped by a demon.
Whatever kills.
Rape was very much a prevalent theme in this movie.
And-
Yeah, I don't fucking recommend this movie at all.
Go for it, man. I don't care.
I don't recommend this at all.
I think we're all in agreement. It's not a highly recommendable movie.
No.
I will
Yeah.
give you that.
It's lackluster. Like
It's
I
lackluster,
said,
yeah.
I don't mind only really showing the inside of a house and just having it character driven. That's fine. You can do plenty inside a house and keep it entertaining.
But-
that's where it should have soared, and casting decisions.
They could have done
these
better.
guys are in it together.
They could have done a little bit more. but
My high point was them getting bored enough to make a sequel to Pineapple Express, even though I didn't like that.
Yeah,
movie.
it's
kind
talk
of
about
funny.
it. Yeah, it's funny
Okay,
to hear
That's
them
what I
talk
do
about
with
it,
a
yeah.
camera.
I
in a
will.
house.
Yeah,
We're not
I'll give you
Yeah,
that.
that was funny. That was funny.
All right.
That was the high point of it all, really. For me,
Okay,
yeah.
so enough of that shit.
Let's get to the main
That's the main
feature.
event.
The
Man of Steel.
Oh, wow, that was messed up.
Messed up.
Yeah, because we said it at the same time. Yeah, did that go effect?
Yeah.
I'm gonna start with this. I loved it. They actually did a whole different event after that whole Superman Returns crap. This one was definitely. They did a lot more with Krypton. They did a lot more with everything else. They actually went back to show him how he grew up from child and got to adult. They did more with this character. They didn't say he was Superman right off. They just said, he was from another planet. And yet, I loved it. I loved it. It was a great movie. Action, awesome. You know, the battle sequence was phenomenal. They did bring back an old enemy, which is good. I like that.
Yes.
This enemy I liked, but this enemy was a badass. I'm sorry to say, General Zod was a badass in the original Superman 2 and in this one, and I loved it. I loved it. So
You're not gonna go that far, are you?
I
I think so.
now you're just making them think.
Oh, I knew he
Okay,
was.
so I will say this much, I definitely did like that it was a fresh take on the origin story. It certainly did go into the events of Krypton's collapse a lot more in detail, which I was very much appreciative.
Yeah, because I'm gonna say this. In the original Superman, they didn't go into that.
No, they didn't.
All they said was, "Oh, well, the sun collapsed and destroyed Krypton." No, they actually went in depth
Yes.
of how
Not just
Krypton-
in depth, they actually showed.
how it got destroyed.
Right.
Which was great.
And I've always been a big supporter of the philosophy show don't tell.
Exactly. Thank you. Thank you.
So that was definitely a breath of fresh air. The way they handled his adult life, as he's still not Superman. In fact, one thing you'll notice that they never actually called him.
Exactly. Until towards the end.
Right.
So, which was good. Which was a breath of fresh air. I'm
Right.
sorry to say.
Was that your point?
Yeah, it is.
No, that's exactly the point. The fact that they never actually mention him by that name.
Until later on.
Right.
And I still like how the captain, I think he's kind of, that was fun. That was funny.
That was very much amusing. Yeah, the story was top notch. I love the way that they handled the whole story from beginning to end, from origin
To now.
to the end, to the conclusion of the fight with Zod. Now, technically, I did have some issues with this movie. Too much shaky cam. There was way.
That's it.
It was very, it just kind of, there were times when I honestly was getting a little bit of a headache watching the movie, which I know I'm kind of surprised by that, given that I really was enjoying it, but just the way it was filmed, it was starting to bother me a little bit. Very shaky. I've never been a big fan of the shaky cam. Another little bit of an issue that I had, you guys have seen District 9, right?
Yeah.
This movie, to me, at times really did feel like District 9 was Superman. It had that feel, it had the same kind of look.
The only way that I would think it was more like District 9 is with the ship.
Yeah,
That's
the way it was filmed, a lot of the cinematography was very reminiscent of District 9.
But it's still good.
No, it's fine, it's fine. It's just, it just, for some reason, I just kept thinking, this is what District 9 would have been like if Superman had decided to show up out of it, you know?
Yeah, true.
You know what was interesting about this movie for me? Didn't feel like a superhero movie, did it?
No, it didn't. You're right. It
You know, that's a
Felt
good
like
point.
Sci-fi blockbuster. It felt like I don't want to say typical sci-fi blockbuster,
No,
but
no.
damn close for some reason.
It still
yeah.
didn't feel like a superhero. You're right. It didn't feel like a superhero.
Lois Lane didn't feel like Lois Lane to me
No.
at all.
No, Lois. They
Which,
gave Lois Lane more of a sexy appeal. I'm sorry.
actually,
Compared to the original Lois Lane with Margot Kidder.
Right.
Lois Lane.
It reminded me of young Demi Moore.
There you go.
sort
Thank
of,
you.
Yeah.
Amy Adams actually did a great job playing Lois Lane. I'm sorry to say.
No, she was fine. She was fine.
There was one thing actually. The guy that they called Pete when the bus went through.
Pete Sullivan, yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know what TV show he was from? Nickelodeon's Pete and Pete. I'm sorry.
I didn't catch that.
When I saw him, he's just a little fatter. is what it was. But it was him. It was him.
I didn't catch that one, yeah.
Interesting. Well, I caught it. So.
I don't know, something felt incomplete about Man of Steel. I didn't feel like I was getting used to his daily life, like I was there with him. They didn't. Well, okay, another kind of spoiler alert. He's not the Clark Kent you know and love. The Dunderhead in the first 2, or maybe 3 Superman. I've only seen the first 2. With glasses, being lovably funny.
Well, the third
That never
one,
happens.
Well, the third one is in the original Superman series. He was more of a Thunderhead, but that was Christopher Reeve's name.
Well,
Right.
they could have. Well,
Yeah, they could have.
that was at the very end, though. I
Yeah.
expected him to be Clark Kent in the newsroom much sooner in the movie, and that's a directorial and also writer's decision. to
That
have
was
it
actually,
till the
yeah,
very
that
end.
was the story, and I actually kind of appreciated that they didn't go directly to that. That the whole idea was that he was trying to keep himself hidden for so long,
Yeah.
while still being able to help people, and it didn't turn out, you know, he didn't keep that up.
Kevin Costner.
Very Dark Knight.
Yes.
Kevin Costner did a great job playing his father. Russell Crowe, great job playing, you know,
That guy doesn't fail. Yeah.
great job.
Here's a kind of an odd thing. I didn't realize that was Russell Crowe at first.
Really?
No.
Wow.
I did not
Never
realize that
watched
was
the trailer?
him. I was actually kind of caught off guard when I finally figured out that was him.
Because he looks younger than he
Yeah.
should.
Yes,
Excellent, yeah.
very much so.
And Diane Lane did a great job playing Martha Kent. I will
Yeah.
admit that she did a great job. And
Did a
then
wonderful job.
the one thing with Amy Adams, I will admit, you know, playing Lois Lane, they actually went and did it. They actually took it a different way. With finally meet Clark Kent, and then finally, you know,
That was very interesting.
the way they did it,
In
it
a
was just-
spaceship.
yeah.
It was
But-
much different.
And it was the way their chemistry hit. I
Very
knew that
well
was going to
done.
happen. Very well done. Very well done. I will admit, that was great. I was blown away.
Now let's kind of get into the little minute details here, something we were discussing there at the end there in the theater.
Well, during the battle of Zod and Jor-El, or Superman, you will see a little bit of LexCorp.
Yes. There were at least 2 different LexCorp references there.
A tanker truck
Yep.
and
Yeah,
the
LexCorp
future
Tower.
home of LexCorp.
Exactly. And then there was one other little reference, which I was apparently the only one who caught it.
Wearing glasses.
Yeah, true. He was.
Yeah, so when you see this, pay special attention to the fight on the satellite when they're out in space. You will notice a little insignia mentioning Wayne Enterprises. A little tie-in, obviously, to the Batman series, the Dark Knight series. So, who knows where they take that.
Exactly.
Christopher Nolan, obviously.
Oh, I love to see Christian Bale meet Superman. You know, Batman and Superman get together. That would be interesting to see how they would do that.
I'm kind of curious how they would do that, but at the same time, I would rather they start bringing in other heroes to the universe.
Exactly.
I want to see a Green Arrow show up.
What I would love to see is Hawkgirl.
Well, I mean, we're talking, you know, the bigger name heroes at first.
Well, Hawkgirl is a big name hero.
Let's go Flash.
Flash, yeah.
Flash, yeah. So
Wonder
Flash,
Woman.
Green Arrow, I don't know if they would even be able to do Wonder Woman, but it would be nice if they
It'd be interesting.
could.
It would be interesting to see it.
Well, it's just a matter of logistics, really,
Yeah.
because I think, isn't it like NBC that owns like the rights or something?
No, I don't think so.
Or is that a portion of a pilot?
Oh yeah, that was garbage.
So what was the high point of Man of Steel for you guys?
High point.
The action, the adventure was awesome. The way they went in at that to his early childhood, working his way up, going from showing how Krypton actually got destroyed, how and everything, how they worked everything in perfect, and then they show how his dad died, how they showed Clark, Kent, Mr. Kent died. It was great. I was actually blown away by that. That was the high point. The low point could have been, with the whole, the one thing that I didn't understand was with General Zod, how they got his people, into the, how they, I can't speak to it, the Phantom Zone, the original Phantom Zone.
They showed that.
He showed it, but the problem is they didn't.
They didn't go into good detail of how they were broken out.
Yeah.
Okay, that
Thank you.
I'm gonna call that the low point as well. The fact that they kind of glossed over that. The high point for me was obviously the brilliant retelling of the whole story.
Exactly.
The fact that they gave such a fresh take on the story was mind blowing to me. This is a story that has been told time after time after time, especially with that abortion Superman Returns.
Oh, thank you. I'm not the only one that thought that was
I hated that
piece of
movie so
garbage.
fucking much.
It was like taking a big dump on us.
Yeah. Yeah, they retold the story beautifully. I loved it.
Yeah, I do agree with the flashback approach to his childhood. That's all well and good. I'll be a bit more specific with my high points. The World Machine's really cool.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
It was basically pounding the earth like a hammer, and I really enjoyed that part. I really enjoyed also Jor-El leading Lois Lane out of the spaceship. You know,
That
up
was
to your
cool.
left, or what was it?
Touch it up. Put your head to the left.
That was very cool. I really enjoyed the shot of when they began the final battle after General Zod took off his armor.
Yeah.
There was
that was
there was a
great.
really
Great
cool
moment.
shot.
Great moment.
There was a really cool shot when Superman kept hitting him across the sky and then doing it again, and the camera following each of those hits. It was one shot going at supersonic speeds.
That was fantastic.
That was awesome. Phenomenal work. Phenomenal work.
One of the few times when they actually didn't have the damn shaky cam going, you could actually see what was going on.
Zack Snyder did a great job. I will admit, he did a great job doing this movie.
Without a doubt. I mean, I wish he'd choose a different director of photography next time, but hey.
Yeah, in fact, when we actually got to the movie there, it was like right at the perfect time of watching. This is the end.
Right.
we missed all the trailers for that movie.
When that last trailer was ending.
Right.
Speaking of which, trailers.
None.
Anything that was worth.
Well,
noting?
Despicable Me 2 is coming out.
Yeah.
Of course. You got
The next Hobbit movie.
the next Hobbit. Yes.
There we go. I think that's the only trailer we can talk
Yeah,
about.
that I would love to see that one. I'm sorry, I'm a big fan of Jake. I can't.
JR.
Jay.